and drunk, some of them getting drunk, and some of them don't even know who is the person slept with her and wherever he is, and then in the morning as if nothing happened. Thank Allah, you're not like those. Allah guided you to Islam. We've been blessed with this deen. They talk about terrorists and this religion is that religion of terrorism. Well, who is killing the Muslims in Palestine and Palestine? The Muslims? Who's killing the Muslims in Chechnya for years and years? The Muslims. Who kills them in Indonesia? And who kills them in Philippines? And who kills the Muslims in Gujarat and in Pakistan and in Kashmir? Muslims? Those are all Muslims. Who killed the Muslims in China lately and for the years? Muslims. Who killed the Muslims in Afghanistan and Iraq? Sovereign nations were attacked and destroyed, were returned back to the Middle Ages and even further. Muslims? Muslims didn't go to anyone's lands and they said, we declare war on you. So who is the real terrorist? A report comes by the United Nations of Human Rights. The person who's assigned to investigate is a Jew. They put him to investigate what happened in Gaza, in Palestine, and he comes to say both the Palestinians and the Israelis have committed crimes of war. You equate between people who, if they have missiles, they make them in their garage, and doesn't even go further than their own place, to Apaches and F-15 and F-16 destroying a whole city, thousands and thousands of people, to the point where his daughter who lives in Israel, who could not take, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes puts the truth in the tongue of the kuffar. وَالْحِكْمَةُ ضَالَةُ الْمُؤْمِنِ. His daughter stands up, lives in Israel. This guy that they put gold stone or whatever he is, and he's not gold, he's false. She comes out to say, my father loves the state of Israel, and he wasn't fair, and he was so nice to Israel in his report. Very nice. You know what the funny thing is? The weird thing about this is Israel still rejected the report. For what? Who's killing the Muslims? Who's killing the people? Muslims? You say terrorists. Who killed the millions of people in World War I and II? Muslims? Wasn't Muslims. Muslims had nothing to do. Actually, Muslims were dragged into it. They were promised a lot of things, and they were promised to get their own place, right? And then when the war was going on, and in the backstage, France and Italy and England and Spain were dividing the Muslim world amongst themselves. The World War ends and the occupation takes place in those countries. Right? We all know that. Colonization. It's actually occupation. That people still suffering until today, and they will continue to suffer. So who is the bad guy? Who's the bad guy? Well, they tried every kind of system. They say they have the truth, and they say they created their own law, the best law. Well, if a white man creates a law, most probably it will not be suitable for an Asian guy. That's common sense. But yet you want to take your law and implement it on that poor person. A law that is made by millionaires and billionaires. How is it possible to apply to a man who lives in a hut or in a poor street? It doesn't work. But the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works and had proved itself. When the Muslims took over this world and they had the strongest civilization in history and the biggest. By no means, don't tell me America, don't tell me Rome, don't tell me Persians, don't tell me the Chinese, who are the Tatar, the Muslim Empire. Until the beginning of the past century, they were in charge. Muslims, the Ottoman Empire was still existing until they broke the last leg. The world was much better off. once the Ottoman Empire collapsed, all these wars started taking place. All these wars started taking place. More than 50 wars took place in the last century. Millions of people are dead. So who's the terrorist? Why didn't you look at yourself? We are not terrorists. None of us here ever blew up anything. We're not planning to do that. We talk. We want people to know the truth. We want to invite people to the truth, to the right thing, to do the right thing. Okay? No one is calling for chastity other than Muslims. And it boggles me when I see people who are so involved in the church, and I've seen them in campus, in college and all that, so involved in the church, and they are representing a church organization here and there. This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. Well, where's chastity? Salam. Where's chastity that your church supposedly claimed? You know what? When a person was asked, why you Muslims don't have girlfriends and boyfriends? Why you're not allowed? As the brother said today. He said the woman wears the hijab and it says on it that don't mess with me. That's true. Usually when someone approaches a Muslim woman who's wearing hijab, usually has one of two questions. One, you're not hot? It's too hot. And the other, which is amazing, how can you take a shower with this? I heard it, wallah. I heard this question. Someone asked me, someone in Ivy League school asked me that. Most probably there's a third question. Why you wear it? Right? But no one will approach a Muslim woman to hook up with her. Maybe another Muslim guy. But she tells him, and he knows, he should know the right way, right? He should know. So even if he wants to approach her, maybe to take her dad's number. And if he tries to approach her, he will approach her with a nice way, respectful. Alright? She tells him no, he turns his back and walks away. And still, I'm not saying this is the way, but anyway. The point is, when he was asked, why you guys can't have that? What is wrong with having a boyfriend and a girlfriend? Like one of the girls who worked for me, when I was telling him, just get married to the poor guy, you've been with him for years and years. You guys have kids, why don't you just get married? She said, marriage is only a paper. That's the mentality. For us, marriage is a contract between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah witnesses in that contract. So when he was asked about that, why? He said, because we don't want kids who don't know their fathers. We don't want our kids to grow up not knowing who their father is. You know how many kids I treat, and sometimes I make a mistake. You know what that mistake is? Where is your dad? Because he comes with his grandmother, or he comes with his aunt. So most probably his mother is working. So where's your dad? Because in that area, most dads don't work. Wallahi, it breaks my heart. I have nothing to do with that kid. I'm not related to him. He's not one of the rest of my family. And you never know, but you know what he says? He says, I don't know my dad. Or, I don't have a dad. 3 years old and 4 years old. What you expect of this person to grow up to be? President? If Bush can be president, this person will be. But what are you going to be? What are you going to be? Understand? But Islam is the religion that guides us. So we are the ones who call for chastity. We are the one who calls, why are you going to have drugs and alcohol? And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all the Muslims and guide all those Arabs who have grocery stores, because they make it so difficult for us. Because I hear it often when we talk about